Hallo kykers en welkom by die 292ste episode van julle gunsteling en hoogs betroubare aanlyn nuusbron, Erongo Talk. Vandag kuier ons in die varslig op Swakopmund. Ons sit ons fokus op brandbekamping voort en kyk na die gereedheid van ons brandweerstasies om vure te blus. In ons tweede onderhoud betreffende die onderwerp besoek ons die Philippus Namalemo brandweerstasie hier op Swakopmund en gesels met meneer Bianga Matengu, die assistent hoof van die instansie. Ons bring vir julle die nuus, Grumpy se fishing report, die weer en ook die getuie. Eerste op die lys is ons kalenderdag. Bly ingeskakel, ons is nou terug. In die nuus gaan kuier ons vandag 'n bietjie op Omaruru, waar die burgemeester van die dorp, Roger Naturo, die munisipale raad se implementeringsplan vir kapitaalprojekte vir die 2021-22 boekjaar tydens die onlangse burgemeestersrede aangekondig het. Naturo het gesê die aankondiging is gedoen in ooreenstemming met die dorpsraad se bestaande strategiese plan en dit sluit ontwikkelingsaktiwiteite in wat geneem is na die raad se vergadering op 1 Julie oor begrotingsoorsigte. Lydens die burgemeester gaan die dorpsraad tussen Augustus en November vanjaar begin met die oprigting van bekostigbare huise om voorsiening te maak vir fase 3 van die enkelkwartier teen 'n beraamde koste van 2,68 miljoen Namibiese dollar. Onderhewig aan die beskikbaarheid van geld, beplan die staatsraad om 'n aanvullingsversoek vir finansiering in te dien en beoog om deur 'n gesamentlike onderneming 1500 erwe te verskaf, as ook 300 erwe aan die Shack Dwellers Federation. Die raad wil ook Akana informele nedersetting teen Februarie 2022 hervestig. Daar is ook verskeie interne en eksterne projekte. Nou vir meer daaroor gaan besoek ons webwerf www.erongo.com.na. Ons beweeg aan. Die burgemeester van Henties Bay, Lewies Vermaak, sê hy moes die beskikbaarheid van 2 lokale as COVID-19 inentingspunte van die hand wys as gevolg van 'n trae opkoms deur inwoners om ingeënt te word. Die mense dag egter nie op nie, so wat help dit? Nie sit nog 2 punte op, het Vermaak gesê. Hy is van mening die verantwoordelikheid rus nou op die skouers van plaaslike leiers om 'n voorbeeld vir hulle gemeenskap te stel. Vermaak het beklemtoon dat dit elke persoon se keuse bly en bygevoeg dat gemeenskapsleiers soos veral dominees en sakemanne moet nou as voorbeelde vir die dorp na vore tree. Hy skryf die trae begin van die inentingsveldtog op Henties Bay aan waninligting toe en sê sosiale media het mense deurmekaar gemaak. Vermaak het die AstraZeneca-enstof ontvang saam met Walvis Bay burgemeester Tevino Forbes as ook ander burgemeesters van die Erongo streek. Ek dink dit is die regte ding om te doen as ons wil hê besighede moet heropen en groei. Sou ons wil hê dinge moet terugkeer na normaal, is inentings teen die virus die enigste manier, het hy aangevoer. Nou volgens hom kan daar tussen 16 en 20 mense per dag by die Henties Bay kliniek ingeënt word, wat tans die dorp se enigste inentingspunt huisves. Ten slotte, die Swakopmund se dorpsraad het 'n projek van stapel gestuur wat tot die opening van 3 sportbane vir die gemeenskap van Mondesa gaan lei. Raadslid Afeni Ngidipaya het gesê konstruksie van die fasiliteit ter waarde van 1,5 miljoen Namibiese dollar word beoog met die doel om dit nader aan inwoners te bring. Die sportbane word op 'n erf langs die Mondesa Youth Opportunities gebou en sal na verwagting gedurende die boekjaar 2021-22 voltooi word. Volgens Afeni beoog die dorpsraad om 'n arena met verskillende sportbane te bou om nasionale sowel as internasionale byeenkomste na die dorp te lok. Sportklubs, skole sowel as die publiek sal baat by die 3 bane wat voorsiening maak vir tennis, basketbal en netbal. Gaan kuier gerus op ons webwerf www.erongo.com.na vir meer nuus uit die streek en besoek ons Facebook bladsy om te kyk na die kommentaar wat van die stories uitgelok het waaroor ons hier gesels. Maak ook 'n draai by ons TV kanaal oneup2.com vir nuus uit die hele Namibië as ook die buurlande, die res van Afrika en die wêreld.
Thank you, Masene. My first name is Vainga, so I'm Vainga Matengo, the newly appointed Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Swakopmund Municipality, the Emergency Service Division. I started my responsibility as the Deputy on the 3rd of May 2021. Fortunately, upon my commencement of duties, I found my late chief already out of service on medical conditions. So I was at the same time appointed in the capacity of acting chief fire officer for the organization of municipality of Swakopmund Fire. But running or driving the board of emergency service management or service system, one doesn't need to wait for winter, one doesn't wait for any type of season. That's why it's an emergency. Emergency can come in winter, emergency can come in spring, emergency can come in summer. So in terms of emergency preparedness, to me, I'm very ready with my team and the entire organization. We have the means to mitigate all emergencies that attack or hamper the community of Swakopmund, be it to it in response, be it to it in the rescue of equipment or truck-wise. So the readiness is really there, it's available and we are ready. At any time, even at the moment when I'm talking, we are really ready for emergency response. I do have the staff complement of 10 personnel at the moment, of which it's my privilege to bring it to your attention that currently now I've got a two-shift system, unlike last year, and the two-shift system which started last year November because we had challenge working less than as required. So the two-shift system is catering for 24/7 operation for fire brigade response. So whereby now per shift I'm running the operation with 5 firefighters, which is the shift system that we are using. Is as I said, 24/7, 2 days on, 2 days off. When it comes to weekend, it's 3 days on, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come Monday morning, they go off another shift, which we're off the start. So in terms of personnel preparedness or personnel readiness, at the moment, yes, we do have personnel in charge of the operation. Even though we are living in a very liquid environment or liquid states right now, I might have some challenges here and there, but which are external challenges. So no matter how, I need to be ready for them. Currently now, we do have volunteers, but there's a gap in terms of response. Some volunteers, they are willing to partake. Some volunteers, they still have challenges in terms of PPE whenever the emergency calls. But as an organization, we came with a contingency plan that let's invite more volunteers. Let's make a research, give an invitation to our community, those who have got means in terms of fire operation or firefighting. Let's put an invitation out. Let's send an invitation out and see the pool that we are going to receive. Then take it further from there. Then I promise, in terms of volunteers, we are really gearing towards it. There's a standard, or there are standards that needs to be in place. You don't just procure a truck without equipment. Every firefighting truck that procured, it needs to come with its equipment already on board. By the time it's delivered, by the time it's dispatched from where it's manufactured to where to the delivery point, those equipment, they should be on the fire truck. So currently now I do have 4 firefighting trucks and 4 utility rescue and firefighting vehicles. What I mean when it's coming utility, the small vehicles. Now we've got 4 trucks, 1 utility for which we are using or accountable for, responsible for MVA response.
Yes.
You know, we are now and then we have got accidents, so there's a specific rescue vehicle assigned for that or for those duties. We received 2 hour donated ambulance from the Embassy of Japan. The 2 donated ambulances will be incorporated into our emergency management service delivery for the community of Swakopmund. And also in terms, when we are still on equipment, part of the fire brigade, we are expecting to receive an earlier appliance, and we are expecting to receive the fire tanker that will complement or additional to our firefighting trucks.
Wow.
So this one they are due in the process, but the approval, the budgeting, everything was done. We're just waiting, plus minus a couple of 1-2 months, we will receive those type of equipments. At the moment, the fire brigade of Swakopmund has got 2 fire stations. We have got this one here, which is the headquarters of fire brigade.
In the center.
In the central and the CBD
Yes.
of the town.
Yes.
And we do have a satellite or a sub fire station at DRC.
Okay.
Just to accommodate the rapid intervention shoots in an emergency calls at the vicinity of DRC, Mondesa, and also the airport. So basically what happened, in terms of personnel resources, I do divide or deploy on a daily basis some certain firefighters to cater for DRC, because I did my response assessment upon my arrival, where I found that responding from the CBD fire station is a bit challenging in terms of prompt responding to areas like DRC. So we do have 2 fire stations, and we are working towards to upgrade our DRC fire station to be modernized, that it meets the current engineering methodology. When the community, they don't understand their role first into an emergency. They don't understand the role of the emergency unit also. Because you find the fire brigade, they are responding, starting from the fire station where they are responding, on the roads. The siren for the emergency vehicle, it's on, they know, they can see that the TWAT or the fire personnel they are responding, they are hard to give or to yield right of way.
Yes.
That's one of the challenges, that's one of the fatal challenges that's happening with the service delivery. Upon arriving at the scene, you find the community members, they park blocking the emergency vehicles, accessing the site under attack. That is very, very challenging, and it's a very bad behavior that we're experiencing, or that I'm experiencing, me and my team and the organization at large, towards the community. So it's a challenge, but it has some mitigation methodology that can be employed. The only methodology that can be employed to close the gap is the safety induction or safety educational program fire brigade need to intensify to the community.
Yes.
Orientate them, sensitize them, educate them their responsibility. Even if you go to, you consult the Fire Brigade Local Authority Act, there are responsibility during an emergency that the community has to meet the fire brigade halfway. Instead of attacking the fire brigade based on what type of grounds they are attacking, it's not necessary. It's not worth it.
Yes.
At all. That behavior should be discouraged by all means. And the other hampering factor is you find that the fire brigade are responding to the scene. They are busy with fire and rescue operation. Some law enforcement people, be it they are external, instead of executing their law enforcement activities, for example, security companies, they need to be also oriented or sensitize their roles. They are the people to maintain law and order at the scene, but you find them, they join the community members or the civilian in watching or worsening the convenience of fire brigade operation. So those two activities or factors, they really do give a hampering contribution towards the fire brigade operation. This type of structure, Toroloka was used to build the structure. Second, it's a type of distance from one structure to another structure. There were no, the distance,
There was no space.
there was no space in between.
Yes.
So should one shack catch fire, it means the whole compound will catch fire because there's no means of that avoid transferring fire from one shack to another shack.
Exactly.
So which is a different scenario. Let me say 90% in Swakop, most of the shacks are dispersed, of which it's just that we are living in a challenging world. Not everyone is well set to build a very standard homestead or structure, but at least there should be some methodology that can delay, that can prevent fire, or even fire transferable from one structure to another. So the structure themselves is a challenge on its own. So that we learned from it, and also, like for example, in pictures you have indicated, it happened at the after hour, after business time slot. It was around 9, if I'm not mistaken. I was at the scene myself. That was around 9. So, and Swakopmund, they made a very swift response. They didn't wait for their house to be, or for their community to be under attack.
Yes.
By then, or they indicated or introduced the 24/7 shift system, which will help should any community in Swakopmund under attack. We don't need to expect fire brigade to respond from the houses, come to the fire station, take the equipment or the appliances and respond. It's already a delay. So making it a shift system, 24/7, responding from the fire station, it's a very or a swift methodology which I applaud the municipality of Swakopmund that they introduced as such. Because attending or responding to an emergency, the most critical or the most crucial thing, it's a golden response to the area under attack.
So a timely.
We have got different types of emergency agencies or stakeholders that can help to mitigate any type of emergency that arises or that calls for attention. So I'm looking tirelessly to work with those type of emergencies. I'm very busy working on it, establishing a good relationship with those stakeholders on record or in manuals, in emergency management manuals. We are working towards that. So when an emergency comes, it's not only emergency for Swakopmund municipality. No, Swakopmund municipality is just accountable. The overall body that says, okay, this is my community. I need to render this type of emergency services to my community. So, but there are people or expertise and organizations which are also on their own individual level. They are responsible, qualified emergency management system delivery. So, my message out to the community of Swakopmund: we need to work together.
It was indeed quite a good week of fishing, especially in the Zuila wreck area, reports Grumpy. Derek Molman and his brother Meyer headed out to the wreck. They used sardines and white mussel as bait. Meyer landed some nice fish, with the big shad being the pick of the catches. He also managed to reel in a big blacktail and galjoen, along with some pen-sized cod. It was not a bad day's fishing between the two brothers. They fished from the wreck back towards Swakopmund, and according to them, they only had 2 stops where they didn't manage to land a fish. Parkies also managed to produce some galjoen and the odd steenbras. Langstrand was a bit quieter this week, but Grumpy says he has no doubt that sooner rather than later the fish will reappear at this popular angling stretch. The local bicycle anglers around Swakopmund also caught some barbel in the early hours of the morning. Some galjoen were also in the mix. Decent catches were reported up north from Canopy and even further up at the Winston. For the second week in a row, bigger cod were managed to be pulled ashore. Some of the cod weighed over 10 kilograms, which are some decent sizes for sure. In between, some steenbras were caught and the odd blacktail too. The ski boats are rather quiet, with mainly cod being caught. Fish landed by the boat anglers are more in the pen size range, or just over 40 centimeters. These are delicious to eat nonetheless. And with that, we say tight lines until next time.
This week on Irongo Talk, we visit the tranquil Sandwich Harbour. The Sandwich Harbour Lagoon is one of Southern Africa's richest and unique wetlands and one of 5 Ramsar sites in Namibia. Sandwich Harbour boasts 2 distinct wetlands and associated mud flats. One is aquifer-fed and supports typical emergent vegetation, but is slowly disappearing due to natural causes. The second, under tidal influence, consists of mud flats and raised shingle bars. Wedged between the sea and the Namib Dunes, it is one of Namibia's most important coastal wetlands, supporting 8 endangered species along the large numbers of wading birds. Several sites dating back 1,000 years exist within the site. Human activities have included fishing, guano collection, and hunting. The dunes of Sandwich Harbour is perfect for a lookout spot to look over the ocean and the dunes, and they also serve for some exhilarating dune driving. Sandwich Harbour, right here on Irongo Talk.
Ons gaan kyk nou na die verwagte temperature vir al die groot dorpe in die magtige Irongo streek, sowel as die getye vir vandag. En met dit kom ons dan aan die einde van vandag se uitsending. Dit is altyd lekker om in julle geselskap te kan wees en die kuier hoef nie hier te stop nie. Sluit gerus aan by ons aanlyn familie van meer as 85,000 volgers en kuier verder op ons Facebook platform. Gaan besoek en klik op die skakels vir meer nuus oor die streek en inligting oor besighede, sowel as produkte op ons webwerf www.erongo.com.na. Ek herhaal ene vir julle, ons webwerf is www.erongo.com.na. Maak ook 'n draai by ons TV-kanaal oneup2.com vir nuus uit die hele Namibië, as ook die buurlande, die res van Afrika en die wêreld. Stuur vir ons nuustips, foto's, video's en indien jy wil adverteer, kontak ons by 08 117 00040. Net weer die nommer vir julle, dit is 08 117 00040. Nou met 'n reach van meer as 1 miljoen mense kan ons beslis jou besigheid en produkte na kliënte oral op die planeet neem. En dan ten slotte, COVID is net ons, onthou dit. Gaan kry 'n COVID-19 enstof indien beskikbaar, dra 'n masker wat jou mond en neus bedek, beoefen sosiale distansie, bly in die buitelug eerder as binne waar moontlik, vermy oorvol plekke en swak geventileerde binnehuisruimtes en was jou hande gereeld. Tot die volgende keer. Cheerio.